Tuesday night on Long Island, and we've got a good one. Game 2 of the series. It's an AFP softball showdown featuring the Florida Vibe and the New York Rise on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome into the broadcast booth, joined by Northwestern great Sydney Suplee. I'm John Perez. Sydney, it was a fantastic night for softball last night. The first home victory in New York Rise history. Pitching, hitting, and electricity.
Well, you said it. Hitting was really the name of the game. You saw both teams have huge power hitters in home runs, but ultimately it was the New York Rise who was able to cash in when it mattered most late in the 6th inning. But for the first game ever in franchise history, you could not have asked for a better matchup.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for anything better, especially for the Rise. Coming off their Scenic Cup championship, let's take a look at the moving images from last night. And like we mentioned, first home game in franchise history. Sidney McRae's ready to go. Riley Lampede and Nicole Mendez all set, and let's pick it up. Bottom of the first inning, McKenna Smith at the plate with a runner on first. She tattoos this one to left. It's a 2-run home run. Her third home run of the year, 2-0 Rise. Now 3-0 Rise. Bottom of the third inning, Lenny Malkin at the dish. Gives it a ride to left. Ballpark holds it. Alex Honnold comes in to score 4-0. Rise. Westbury native Jalen Ford got the start in the opener. She was efficient. 4 shutout innings, 3 hits, struck out 4. But the Vibe wouldn't go away. Top of the 5th, 4-1 Allie Newland. That's a 2-run shot. That makes it 4-3. That's the score in the bottom of the 6th. 2 on, 1 out. And that ball goes over the fence. Ashley Cherweiler in on the action. A 3-run home run to left. That makes it 7-3. Shanice Dels came on in the 6th inning, not trying to lock it down. And check out Riley Lampede. Nice diving stop to rob Carmen Greenwood of a base hit. 2 outs. Next batter, Dels induces the ground out, and the Rise win their first home game in franchise history, an 8-3 final in front of a sold-out crowd here at Bill Edwards Stadium. Well, we saw them in the highlights, and let's look at our impact players today. McKenna Smith had her fingerprints all over the game, called a great game behind the plate, and got the stick into action as well.
From her very first at-bat, she was on time, hitting a huge home run. She's going to go down in history as the first one to hit it on this field for this franchise, but continued to be so deadly every time she went to the plate. Whereas Cherweiler also made a tremendous impact, but she had to go through a few obstacles. She had 3 strikeouts in a row, stayed in the game, kept adjusting at-bat to at-bat, and had a home run when it mattered most in the 6th.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Cherweiler and her mental approach, because that's something that's really been rounding into form for the Rise. Well, Rodney McRae will throw out this starting lineup for New York today, looking to win the series against the Florida Vibe. And they're starting 9. Cherweiler will lead it off. Jenna Laird is at short. She bats second. Alex Honnold at center field bats third. McKenna Smith in the cleanup spot. Lenny Malkin, the DP, bats 5th. Sammy Williams in the hot corner with Riley Lampede at second base. Kayla Wydell is out in left field. And Sydney McRae rounds out the lineup. She's in right field, a fantastic right fielder with a good glove and a lot of range. So that's New York. Let's meet Florida on the other side, coming off that 8-3 loss yesterday. But they've had some good at-bats in there as well when it came to Florida and what they've been able to do. We're going to look at their impact players, as the Vibe will be led by Kara Canetto and Allie Newland.
For Newland, she is one of those athletes who, when we talk to Coach Scott, who's filling in the roles as a head coach this weekend, she's so focused, and you could tell from her approach every single time she stepped to the plate. She came up huge for her team with the home run. The other person was Canetto. Granted, it wasn't the power hitting, but she was so consistent in putting the ball in play. They're going to need both of these players and the rest around them to step up to be able to walk away with the win today.
Well, let's see those remaining 7 as well for the Florida Vibe, as it is the same exact lineup from yesterday, led by Mike Scott, the assistant coach, but he assumes the head coaching duty with Leah Amico coaching Team Israel. And is away from the team. Carmen Greenwood leads it off. Kara Canetto out in left field. Allie Newland got the start late at second base yesterday. She's in the 3-hole. Sierra Frazier's behind the plate with Michaela Paparata at third base. Those two swapping spots. Madison Kennedy is at first base batting 6th. Batting 7th, Katie Kistler out in right field. Batting 8th, Alana Vaughter. The DP came on to pitch last night, as well as Grayson Radcliffe. She is the shortstop, rounding out the lineup for the Florida Vibe. It is the Vibe. It is the Rise. It is Game 2 of the series, and we'll get you the pitching matchup when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter, and now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Welcome you back to Bill Edwards Stadium. Another great crowd here at Hofstra University, and a lot of local softball players and perhaps future professionals as well. New York Rise fans, at this time, we'd like to acknowledge our good friends at Hofstra, New Balance, Wilson, Azure Transportation, along with Vincent's Clam Bar of Long Island, Erica Cole Salon, Polsky Sports and Entertainment, Print Station, Catcher Matrix, and Lululemon. Appreciate all that you do to help support the Pro Women's Softball League in New York. Rise up. Well, the starting lineups are being introduced, and with that said, we'll send it to our public address announcer, Peter Schwartz, for the starting lineups.
Canetto, batting third, second baseman number 44, Allie Newland. Batting fourth, the catcher number 20, Sierra Frazier. Batting fifth, the third baseman number 27, Michaela Paplata. Batting seventh, the first baseman number 18, Madison Kennedy. Batting seventh, the right fielder number 29, Stifler. Batting eighth, the designated player number 15, Elena Water. Batting ninth, the shortstop number 26, Winston Radcliffe. Starting pitcher for Florida is number 14, Jordan Johnson. The head coach for the Vibes is Leah Amigo. He's assisted by Mike Scott. And now the starting lineup for your New York Rise. First for reserve, number 8, Ryan Lopez. Number 11, Number 12, Haley Ford. Number 19, Ryan the starting lineup for the Rise. Leading off at first base, number 50, Ashley Truewiler. Batting second at shortstop, number 3, Jenna Laird. Batting third, the center fielder, number 25, Alex Arnold. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 21, McKenna Smith. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 22, Liddy Malkin. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 7, Sammy Williams. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 26, Riley Clancy. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 6, Kayla Windle. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 99, Sydney McCray. The starting pitcher for the Rise, number 29, Denise Schill. The umpires for tonight at first base, Gil Zayas. At third base, Alex Lee. And behind the plate, Mario Calabrese. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please rise. And please remain standing and remove your hat to honor America for those who protect our freedoms with the singing of the national anthem performed tonight by up-and-coming Broadway star, Long Island's very own William Herbert from Farmingdale.
It's in the stands.
By the dawn, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last bright stars through the valley as the rockets red glare and the twilight last. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, and our flag is still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
William Herbert with the national anthem and up-and-coming Broadway star from Farmingdale.
From Northwell Health, Dr. Kevin Cipriano.
And it is Northwell Health Night here at Bill Edwards Stadium. And, of course, Northwell Health, one of the top sponsors, of course, for the New York Rise. And, of course, at this time, the New York Rise would like to acknowledge and say thank you to Northwell Health, the official healthcare provider for the New York Rise, the official team physicians of the New York Rise, and the official rehabilitation partner of the New York Rise. And I don't think that he wanted that souvenir, Sydney Suplee.
Smith was chasing him down, showing off her speed. It got her legs warm, before the game.
No, it's good to see. And, of course, Northwell Health, a great sponsor, of course, for the New York Rise. Okay, so we're ready for Game 2 of this series. And, of course, what's very interesting about all of these games, and at least this homestand, is for the Rise, they're coming off a Scenic Cup championship, now trying to take the series against the Florida Vibe. I think the biggest thing that stood out yesterday for the Rise is how well they fielded their positions, and for the Vibe, they're going to have to get more traffic on the base paths as well.
Both of the teams had multiple opportunities with runners in scoring position, but it was the Rise who's able to play that shutdown defense that you were talking about, but then also on the other side, cash in when it mattered most, and it was huge in that 6th inning after the Florida Vibe brought the game to 1 run, and then they really came through. They fed off this home crowd that's looking just as strong here today.
Well, New York used 3 pitchers yesterday: Jalen Ford, Sarah Cornell, and of course Shanice Dells, who got the save yesterday after going 2 innings, and she was flawless.
And Dells does such a great job having a huge arsenal, something she didn't always have at Tulsa. She worked a lot of rise, curve, and screw, but when she went to Arkansas, in just 1 day, she developed a drop ball that has completely opened up her game and shown her so much success at the college side and now the professional side.
Yeah, she grew up in Edmond, Oklahoma. Of course, like you mentioned, Arkansas and Tulsa in her career, and was the 2022 SEC Pitcher of the Year, an SEC Tournament MVP, and an All-SEC First-Teamer in 2023 as well. And she was someone that did a good job of changing the eye level, going inside-outside. Florida did not have an answer for her yesterday evening.
And for Florida, it was all about how they were attacking that inside pitch. You saw especially on the left-handed side, they were just getting jammed a little bit, not able to hit it out in front. That's an adjustment they're going to really focus on making today.
Carmen Greenwood leads things off for Florida. 0 for 2 with 2 sacrifice bunts yesterday. Attacks the first pitch and sends it right where it came from. 1 pitch, 1 base hit for Greenwood, who came into the game hitting .519 on the season. And after that 0 for, like a pro, picks up a hit in her first at-bat.
A great job being ready the second she stepped into the box. She took advantage of a ball that didn't quite get on the inner half of the plate, but was down the middle.
So 1 pitch into the game, and here's Cara Canedo. Sacrifices, bunts it, left side, Sammy Williams up with it, low throw, skips over the glove of Trierweiler, backed up by McCray, who escorts it in. So a successful sacrifice as Greenwood ends up at third, should be an E5, and Canedo stays at first. And the Vibe with runners on the corners and nobody out for Allie Newland.
This is exactly what the Vibe needed, is to start off this game with a lot of momentum after leaving the field yesterday. They were frustrated, but they have used that fuel to respond in such a positive way.
Sacrifice E5 is the official score, as here's Allie Newland, the LSU Tiger. Canedo runs, throw is cut off by Blampede. And a stolen base for Canedo.
And I don't mind that decision-making right there, but Greenwood does a great job staying home at third base. With no outs, there's no reason to be overly aggressive.
1-0 pitch drops a little low. 2-0. Home plate umpire is Mario Calabrese. Gil Zayas is over at first, and Alex Leap is at third base. And the Rise, with the exception of Blampede at second, play their infield in. And count 2-1.
And this is the exact situation that you want a left-handed hitter up to bat. It's much easier for Newland or any lefty to think, pull the ball away from the runners.
That's in there for a strike. And for Newland, grew up in Osceola, Indiana. 2 for 2 with a home run, a 2-run shot yesterday. .375 on the season. With 12 runs driven in after hitting her first home run yesterday. It's on the ground to the right side, under the glove of Blampede and into right field. 1 run is in. McCray's throw comes all the way home, smothered by Smith. No advancement by Canedo. But Newland's on at first and a 1-0 Florida lead.
And Trierweiler right there takes a trip to Smith and says, my bad. And this is a really well-timed timeout right now, because for the New York Rise, they are getting sped up defensively. You can see that in this play. We saw Blampede play phenomenally yesterday, but this one goes right between her legs. She gets a little bit high. It's always important as an infielder. You always want to overemphasize staying low.
Give the RBI to Newland, and now it's 3 runs driven in 2 games against the Rise.
You have to love that response. They just showed the circle where they were all meeting. There's a little bit of smiles and laughs. Let it go. The run has already happened, but now how can you respond and minimize the damage here?
Sierra Frazier, the batter, swings and misses. High pitch, throw down, and it's a rundown. Newland, Blampede checks over and doesn't go to first. And just escorts her back.
A great job there by Blampied, cutting it off, getting into that rundown. I would have almost liked to see her make that last-second throw to Treeweiler, who could have even had the tag or went home.
0-1. 1-1.
And we've seen both of these teams be pretty aggressive on the base pass. The New York Rise came in with only 9 stolen bases, but had 3 yesterday. Now you're seeing the Florida Vibe take a page from their notes.
Yeah, for the Rise, it was Alex Honnold, Blampied, and Mendez. Now the runner goes. Throw down from Smith, not in time.
And how interesting is that choice after we saw 2 cutoffs, but this time Smith chooses to go all the way through.
One-two, that's high. And the other thing, too, it could tell you is the faith that New York has in their offense, too, but trying to limit the damage to just the 1 run. 2-2. Tapped on the ground right side, backhanded by Treeweiler. Checks the runner, takes it to the bag herself. 1 away.
With the speed of Greenwood, I would have really liked to see her be aggressive and try to go home on that, especially when Treeweiler turned her back to make the play at first base. That's the time you go. It's be very hard for her to have to pick up her feet, turn 180, and make that throw.
This brings up Michaela Paparata. Paparata 0 for 1 with 2 sacrifice bunts yesterday. Getting the start at third base. Paparata was behind the plate yesterday. Sierra Frazier, a natural catcher, gets a start behind the plate tonight, and Paparata goes over to third. 0-1. Wave and a miss. Pulled a string. 0-2.
Dels is starting to get a lot more comfortable in the circle, starting to find her groove.
Looking for the strikeout. Here she gets it. Up the elevator shaft. First K of the evening for Shanice Dels. And there's 2 away.
For Dels, that was the first time she was able to get deep in a count against the hitter. And that was a great sequence, starting low and then working her way up.
Pitch hits the outside corner to Madison Kennedy, the first baseman. Kennedy from Mississippi State, hitless in 3 at-bats yesterday and waves through another one. And on the count 0-2.
What a combination. Starting off with the off-speed, then working Rise up and in. If the Rise can get out of this with only 1 run, it's a huge win.
On the ground to third. Williams bobbles, has time, throws to first, and the inning is over. But Florida pushes a run across. In the top of the first, Florida 1, the New York Rise coming back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Florida with an early 1-0 lead. Double play getting the crowd into it. And a great atmosphere here as well. Tons of youth softball teams in attendance. And those softballs are gold. And you can see the players going after them as well. Great atmosphere here at Bill Edwards Stadium as Florida with a 1-0 lead. And they turn it over to Jenna Johnson getting the start, the ace for the Vibe.
I really like this decision by the Vibe. Johnson, a right-handed pitcher who has an impressive ERA so far. She was the 2023 A-Sun Pitcher of the Year, had a 1.88 ERA and 175 inning pitch her senior year. What I really enjoy about her is she throws 70% first pitch strikes.
Yeah, she won 20 games that year, too, in the 175 innings pitch. She's 2-0 this year, a 2.15 ERA. And the walk to strikeout ratio, sort of video game-like. 4 walks, just 16 strikeouts so far in 13 innings of work. As Ashley Trierweiler will lead it off for the Vibe. And Trierweiler, it wasn't how you start, but how you finish. Last night, Trierweiler goes 0 for 3 going into her last at-bat with 3 strikeouts. And Sydney, you got to love how headstrong she was to wipe that away and send one over the fence.
That mental side of the game is so key, and that's what really separates the good from the great.
Slaps the first pitch on the ground to the left side. Grayson Radcliffe's up with it and throws her out. 1 pitch, 1 out, and got her just by a stride.
Ooh, bang, bang play. That could have went either way. What I love about this Rise team is you're going to see so many of their hitters. They're multiple tool players. Trierweiler shows off her power, but today it goes to the slap right away, showing off her speed, but a fantastic play.
Jenna Laird steps up, the East Meadow native, went to East Meadow High School and got a huge ovation last night for the Rise. Laird went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. And that pitch misses. Count 1-1. Laird leading East Meadow to a conference title in 2016, a state title in 2017, and Long Island championships in 2018 and 19. Not too shabby, and you could see why Missouri loved her.
One of the best to really wear the black and the gold. Always was such a competitor. 2024 SEC all-tournament player. She's a hitter I face, and let me tell you, she is a tough out to get.
Flicks it down the left field line, but it'll dart foul. Count stays at 1-2.
And why she's so good is she can spoil really good pitches like you just saw. That makes it so difficult as a pitcher because you have to go to plan B, C, and D sometimes against her.
Speaking of Rodney McCray before the game, he really loved the hitting approach and said it wasn't an easy strikeout. They put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that was the noticeable thing that stood out to him. The other check marks that he liked yesterday that didn't show up in the first inning was the defense that the Rise played, but said overall it's a good fielding team and a tough first inning so far. Here comes a 2-2. Just outside, 3-2.
And that's what you see around this league. While everyone's independent teams, they're all playing each other. There are so many All-Americans and talented players on both sides. Most of the time, they're competitive matchups. And just because something happened one night, it's very different the next.
Payoff pitch. Rolled foul, first base side.
Once again, it's just spoiling talented pitches. She is hunting for something over the zone, down in the zone and over the plate. That is really her sweet spot.
Laird 4 hits and 16 at-bats. Looking to get aboard, the 3-2. Right back to the mound. Johnson's up with it. And underhands the first, 2 up, 2 down. To meet the defensive alignment for the Florida Vibe. As it's Kara Canetto, Carmen Greenwood, and Katie Kissler left to right in the outfield. Kennedy's at first, Allie Newland at second base, Grayson Radcliffe is at short. Michaela Paprada caught last night, she's at third base. Sierra Frazier behind the plate, and Jordan Johnson on the mound. Here's Alex Honnold, the center fielder. And takes the first pitch strike, 0-1.
You can tell the game plan for Florida Vibe is attacking that first base side of the plate, really trying to tie up all of these lefty hitters that the Rise has.
Honnold 2 hits and 2 at-bats last night and a couple of walks. Takes high, 1-1.
I think it's important to remember, while Rise put up 8 runs yesterday, coming into this series, teams are hitting less than 200 average-wise against this Vibe pitching staff.
And that was really the impressive thing about the Rise yesterday, too, just getting the bats around, traffic on the base paths, and they really created their own fortunes.
It was just putting that pressure on every single inning. They were putting the ball in play and getting somebody on. The Vibe was never able to produce a clean inning against them.
That's up high, 3-1. Yeah, you're right. I mean, last night, of course, the Rise get out to a 2-0 lead after the first. It's 3-0 after 2, then 4-0, and then that blip in the 5th inning, 3 runs across. on Sarah Cornell, but then they respond with 4 in the bottom of the 6th to put the game away. Comes a 3-1 pitch to Honnold and lines it just off the glove of Paprota and into left field, a base hit. Honnold's thinking 2, high throw, skips over the glove of Newland, but backed up by Kistler. And the Rise with a runner in scoring position and 2 down.
I have been so impressed with how the Rise is running the bases. In a play like that, Honnold is just hunting for that second base opportunity. A line shot. She sends an outside pitch, screamer down the third base line. Paprota not able to get her glove on it, but during this time, she is rounding the base hard, allowing herself to be safe.
So here's McKenna Smith. Hit a 2-run home run last night in the first inning, guaranteed to us in the postgame that she would do it again in the first inning tonight. So
she did. She even said, "You can quote me on this. This is live." But what a great interview she was. Her passion shining through, not only for the game, but for this franchise and what they're building here in New York.
Also had the insurance RBI single in the 6th, and then rolls it foul on the first base side. Count 1-1.
And on that foul ball, you could really tell how deep this defense is playing for Florida Vibe. Kennedy is well behind first base right now. And that's really just respect for the power that Smith has.
1-1. Hits the inside corner, 1-2. 3 home runs last night, 2 for the Rise, Trierweiler and Smith. Meanwhile, on the other side, Allie Newland. Linny Malkin also with a deep drive in the 3rd inning, as that ball was caught at the warning track. One, 2 coming. In there, strike 3 called. Got her with the changeup. So Johnson strands Honnold at second. 1 inning in the books. 1-0 Vibe on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
New York Rise fans.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Top of the 2nd inning here at Bill Edwards Stadium at Hofstra University. It's Florida 1, New York 0, and the Rise. We didn't get to their defensive alignment in the 1st inning, so let's show it to you now. As it'll be Kayla Weidel out in left field, Alex Honnold and Sydney McCray in right. Ashley Trierweiler's at first, Riley Blampede at second base, Jenna Laird's at short. Sammy Williams from Iowa State at third base with McKenna Smith behind the plate. And, of course, Shanice Dels on the mound. And what did you see out of Dels in the 1st inning after she gave up the 1 run?
For the Vibe, they came in attacking early. She was throwing it a little bit too much over the heart of the plate, but when she started to settle in, she was really working those speed differences, going with that changeup and then coming up and in nice and tight. And that was very hard for the Vibe to hit.
First pitch hits the inside corner to Katie Kistler, the right fielder. 0-1 in that 1st inning. It was a first pitch single by Carmen Greenwood, then back-to-back errors, but Dels was able to get out of it. A ground out, a strikeout, and another ground out.
The one thing you can really tell about Dels is she works at a very quick pace. You will see these hitters don't have a lot of time to go out of the box because she is standing on the mound ready about 1 second.
Right back to the mound. Dels looked ready on that one. 1 away.
And her quick pace is really to try and speed up these hitters. They can never quite feel comfortable and settled in when they go to face her.
One up, one down. Here's Alana Vaughter, the DP. Vaughter, the two-way player last night, of course, was in the starting lineup as the DP, came in relief after Kaylin Arnold started the game, went 3 innings, and then Vaughter went 2 2/3. But at the plate for Vaughter, she was really impressive this year so far. And Mike Scott has no issue throwing her into the lineup, but went 0 for 3 last night. Drives this to left field and just yanks it foul. You can tell she's an athlete.
Right there's a glimpse of the power that everyone has been seeing this season. For her very first at bat professionally, she went yard. However, last night, the Rise did a great job scouting her, finding a little bit of a hole on that outer half of the plate, but she just already looks a lot more comfortable today.
Comes a 2-2. Wave and a miss, and got her on the changeup. Second strikeout for Dels, and there's 2 away to begin the second. It's always curious, Sydney, when it comes to pitching staffs, and obviously you were on one at Northwestern, the marquee. How many reps do you get at the plate? Do you guys just, I don't know, horse around sometimes and just take swings up there? You know, like, how tough is it?
It's very tough to be a two-way player, and a lot of the times pitchers who do hit have to come in extra or before practice, stay late after practice, because when you're practicing, you're throwing your bullpens, you're throwing to the team, you have to practice defensively how to field your position. So it really credits the athlete for the extra time they're willing to put in to be able to impact their team in multiple ways.
Grayson Radcliffe sees 2 out of the zone and low. Out of Rockville, Virginia. And hits it just fair down the left field line. And this could be an extra base hit, but played nicely by Weidel. And Radcliffe on it first with a 2-out single.
We've seen a few close plays to the line already, and right there, Weidel does a great job getting the ball in from left field. It could have easily been a 2-base hit, but because of how quick she got to the ball and got it in, it's a long single, that's for sure.
So top of the order here, Sammy Williams in the dirt. Wild pitch, goes to the backstop, and Radcliffe goes to second. Second wild pitch of the day for Dels.
And for the first time, we're seeing Dels take a few extra seconds towards the mound, collecting herself and just getting ready to attack with another runner in scoring position.
Greenwood slaps this into right field, a base hit. Radcliffe rounds third. Here comes a throw from McClay. Not in time. Throw down to second. Safe. RBI single for Carmen Greenwood. Makes it 2-0 Florida in the second.
While McRae's throw was a little bit high, Smith does a great job. We're going to take another look at a pulled inside pitch. McRae fields it cleanly this time. Struggled a little bit in right field yesterday. It's a powerful throw, but just a little bit offline. But Smith with the competitive throw, trying to get a third out. And so far, the vibe has been the team. They struggled yesterday scoring with runners in scoring position, but today there has been no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, at one point had 5 runners left on base through the first 4 innings.
Which is uncommon for them because this team hits nearly 400 with runners in scoring position.
Well, they've been taking advantage of it today. Here's Canedo. Reached on a sac bunt and an error. Goes right back to the mound, and Dels is up with it. And the inning is over. But Florida adds another run. 1.5 in the books. 2-0 Vibe on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
2 hits.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's premier high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Don't miss a minute of Rise softball this season. Watch all the games live and get your tickets for all upcoming Rise games at NewYorkRise.com, and also for up-to-the-minute updates. Go behind the scenes with the Rise. Follow the team on Instagram at New York Rise Softball, and there is the slate. And the Rise will be back home on Long Island from July 15th all the way to the 21st. Every game is at 7 p.m. with the exception of July 21st. There's a 1 o'clock start for the Rise. Get your tickets at thenewyorkrise.com. She's Sydney Suplee. I'm John Perez, and you were joking about it during the break, but what a difference 24 hours makes, where the Vibe struggling at the plate, well, they've come out in full force in Game 2.
That's why you have to play every single game like it's its very own, because yesterday's score never carries over. And I've just been so impressed with the maturity this Florida Vibe team has had in putting down yesterday and attacking today. It's a new energy, a new swing, new base running that's just surrounding this team, and the aura is right on point. The vibes are high, someone would say.
Yeah. Jenna Johnson was efficient, worked around the 2-out single in the first to strike out McKenna Smith, so she'll deal the 5-6-7 due up for the Rise in the home half of the second inning. And it'll be Lenny Malkin, who drove in a run, almost had a 2-run home run yesterday, settled for a sacrifice fly. As Malkin was hitless in 3 at-bats. Former Razorback from Broomfield, Colorado. 1-0.
I watched Johnson warm up, and what I really loved is right before the camera got on her and before the inning started, she shook out her arms. You actually even see it right there. She gave a little bit of a shimmy shake. It's her way of keeping her arm loose that allows her to be even more aggressive with it in her arm circle.
And it feels like every pitcher has their own ticks, right? Their own rituals out there.
You absolutely do, and you have to find what works for you. And sometimes it's just that little reminder. I know some pitchers who chewed gum, some pitcher who snapped their fingers, trying to feel the fingers before a pitch. Whatever clicks in your mind.
Leaving a miss, 1-2. Well, what was your fancy?
Mine was a deep breath, and it sounds so boring, but it was just my way of recentering myself and just really feeling the ground beneath my toes, remembering why I was playing this game in just one pitch at a time.
Malkin behind in the count, 1-2. Here's the pitch. And gets a good rip and fouls it right back to the screen.
Both of these teams so far today have been very aggressive early on in the count, not wasting a lot of times, and that's largely because both of these pitchers are hammering the strike zone, especially Johnson.
Comes home with a 1-2. Little roller, and it's fouled just left of the line. And so Malkin will have another opportunity.
Pat Baroda doing everything she could, trying to get that ball before it went right across the line. And McRae's over there fixing the dirt by the line. And he's somebody who we mentioned yesterday on the broadcast. He is so passionate coaching third base side. I joked with him. I think he ran with every single player who was rounding the base, willing them to go home.
Yeah, I asked him if he stretched before the game. He said, oh, you know it. 2-2.
And it's the chemistry that this group has. It's just why they've had so much success. McRae talked about all of the team activities they did already in their first really 2 real weeks as a team. They went to New York City. They went to a Mets game. They went to the beach together. I mean, those are ways you're bonding off the field that then help you shine through in your play on the field.
Johnson home with a 2-2. That's low. 3-2.
It's a really hard pitch to take. What is it, 2-2 count? Great discipline there at the plate.
Trying to rise the pitch count as well for Johnson.
First pun of the day. There you go.
He'll be here all week. 3-2. Right back to the screen. But for Florida yesterday, using 3 different pitchers, I mean, you could say 2.5 really, because Elizabeth Hightower came on and threw 3 pitches. So she's good to go, but of course Mike Scott wants to get Johnson as long as he can, but having difficulty, first batter of the second. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And it's low, ball 4.
And that at bat is so important to the reason you were just in. Granted, it's a walk, but it's a 10-pitch walk. Anything you could do against a pitcher like Johnson, who is so talented, to make her throw more and then go into the bullpen. That's always your number one goal as a hitter, is how quickly can we get the ball out of the starting pitcher's hands and have them bring in another arm.
So this brings up Sammy Williams, the former Cyclone from Iowa State. Williams hitless in 3 at-bats with a strikeout yesterday, and behind in the count, 0-1.
Johnson does a great job responding after the walk, hammering the strike zone right away.
It's a pitch, floated foul. And so the count 0-2.
We were talking about Williams earlier on. Park Ridge, it's an area and a high school out of Illinois that so many talented Division I Power 5 softball players have come out of. Some that I've been teammates with, some that I've played against.
There's a wave and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Williams goes down. One away.
Johnson does a great job climbing the ladder, and another little bit of a shoulder shake. That's something I'm going to be focused on all game today. The way she keeps it loose allows her to throw a rise ball like this. The late break on the ball, so hard to do, but that 12-6 spin is too hard to lay off of.
This brings up Riley Blampede, South Carolina Gamecock, and takes ball 1. Blampede with a couple of web gems last night. Hit 273 with South Carolina this year, trying to find her bat with the rise. Only hitting 143 coming into the homestand. 1-1.
Blampede is facing her former teammate in Vaughter, who we saw on the mound yesterday. What a matchup would be, those two against each other. Know each other very well. I'm sure competed hard also in the bullpen.
Well, and it was Blampede with the bragging rights against Vaughter. Well, I guess you could say they tied because Blampede popped out in the first at-bat, but then walked, stole a base, and came around to score in the 6th.
So 1-1. We'll have to keep an eye out on that matchup as the series progresses.
1-2, lifted foul down the right field line.
And while Blampede had so many all-star plays yesterday, we've seen a little bit of a slower start from her today. So I'm sure she has that in the back of her mind as she feels like she let a few go on the field. Well, now how can you respond and be the difference maker at the plate?
Behind in the count, 1-2. In the dirt. Good smother by Frazier. 2-2.
Both of these catchers so far today are doing a lot of work back there, having to block multiple off-speed pitches.
Is there something mechanical that you're seeing out of both pitchers on the off-speed that has been in the dirt?
Well, I think you saw yesterday that a few off-speed pitches were hit well when they were left hanging. So there's almost this overemphasis, I feel, by both arms that they have to get it low in the zone. However, sometimes when you think, I have to do it, you end up shooting it lower than expected. So they just need to trust their motion and trust where they're landing on that front foot when they release the ball and really use their drop ball to set them up for it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch lined off the glove of Johnson, backed up, and what a play as Grayson Radcliffe gets the lead runner.
I mean, what a play is right. Johnson, the line shot that actually takes her glove off. But just a heads-up play by Radcliffe and a great job by Newland in being there. And you have to love Johnson saying whatever it takes right there. She is fired up to have a defense like that, making those plays behind her.
Just your routine 1-6-4 fielder's choice. As this will bring up Kayla Wadel. Wadel getting the start in left field tonight. Check swing, number foul, off to the first base side.
And as a pitcher, sometimes those line shots back at you can leave you feeling a little bit anxious, but I love how she goes and attacks the zone the very next pitch. That sends a message to your entire team that, look, I'm okay and I'm a competitor.
Wadel from Wauconda, Wisconsin, went to the University of Illinois, Chicago.
And right there, two of my favorite things. Both born and raised in Wisconsin and played in Chicago. I faced her when she was at UIC, a talented player, so athletic and just speedy on the bases.
Pumps it foul, behind the count 1-2. Johnson a strike away from getting out of it. The runner at first is Riley Blampede. The pitch. And Wadle just got a piece of it.
And Blampede was off to the races on that one. We saw her attempt to steal multiple times yesterday. Again, the Rise came in with only 9 stolen bases. They wanted to up that, and they walked away with 3. Expect to see more here tonight.
1-2 pitch. Popped up, first base side, foul territory. Kennedy in front of the dugout and can't make the play. If she had a little bit more real estate, she probably hauls it in, but sigh of relief for New York.
The dugout's just creeping out a little too far for her. And for Wadle, what a great other opportunity. She is getting sawed off on the inner half of the plate right now. How can you either back off the line or find a way to try to hit that ball out front?
Johnson with a couple shakeoffs, now gets the sign that she wants. Rocks and fires on the 1-2. In the dirt, runner goes, throw down to second. Safe is Blampede. Another stolen base for Riley Blampede. And the Rise with the runner at scoring position and 2 outs.
The name of the game, you're starting to see the Rise find their own identity, and that's one thing that Crash over there on third base loves to do is run. And why not when you have a new catcher behind the dish? Frazier now back there for the Florida Vibe.
Comes a 2-2. Flicked foul. Are you noticing a change in the demeanor or maybe something mechanical with Johnson when she's got 2 strikes? It seems like she hasn't been able to find that put-out pitch.
She's nibbling around the zone a little bit too much. Some of her pitches almost feel too much competitive, which you love to go and tackle. But right there is a 2-strike pitch that's almost too good. She gets away with it, but something that moving forward she could do better on.
Yeah, Greenwood makes the play, and the inning is over. 2 in the books, 2-0 Florida on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter, and now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you serious?
I am serious, and there are the Hill people there as well. And one of the cool things about Bill Edwards Stadium, Sydney Suplee, is not just you're getting free hot dogs from Double Play, but there's really not a bad seat in the house.
No, even where we're sitting, I love my view. And Double Play, he's throwing out those hot dogs. Everyone's loving it all the way to the outfield. Maybe Double Play has to work on his arm strength to get those people out there some hot dogs.
Yeah, you got to start getting loose now if he's going to launch it out to left center field.
The atmosphere has been incredible on opening week for the New York Rise. Talking to so many of their players after, they knew it was going to be special, but they said, man, yesterday is something that all of them will forever cherish, and that's coming from players who have played on Oklahoma City stage and at some of the greatest stadiums. They look at this one as one of their top ones ever.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, Sydney, and you know this better than anyone else. When you look at the Power 5 conferences, the Rust Belt, the South, there's no professional teams out there, so to speak, whether it's in any of the 4 sports. So it's really the schools that they have an allegiance to, and because of that, they're used to big atmospheres. I'm sure you could go anywhere in the Big Ten, the SEC, see a sold-out crowd, but it's great to see here on Long Island. As the pitch is hit on the ground to second, and Allie Newland is retired by Riley Bampede, one away.
We've seen this sport grow so much at the college level, to your point. Sold out stadiums, adding more bleachers in Oklahoma City. And now if we can start bringing that to professional side, and New York Rise is a great example. All of these teams in the leagues are, as fans continue to show up and we continue to grow it, you won't see a drop-off someday from college to professional. Hopefully it will be even greater.
Well, and Sierra Frazier steps up to the plate and takes low 1-0. Frazier grounded out to the first baseman, Trierweiler, her first time up, 0 for 1. Frazier 1 for 3 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. She's got 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and hitting .348 for the Vibe. And ahead in the count, 2-1. Popped up behind the plate, right towards us. And almost a catch, but no communication there. He's got a screen for the ball.
I think you had to jump over the railing and get it. We almost had one yesterday. We're searching for our first one, so if someone can hit a foul ball by us, it'd be very much appreciated.
Yeah, that's their concern at the plate. 2-2. Jam shot, left side towards the dugout. Almost a nice play by Sammy Williams, but just out of a reach.
She is climbing the fence on that one. I'll say it all the time. When you have a pitcher, there's a defense who's making those type of effort behind you. It just makes you want to go all in. Frazier does a great job continuing to spoil these pitches by Dels.
2-2 pitch. On the ground to short. Laird plays the hop, whips it to first, 2 away.
It's great response by Laird, who they had a little bit of a tough outing the first inning defensively, and just getting yourself comfortable, making that one good play that feeds confidence into every single player beside you.
So 2 up, 2 down. Here's Michaela Paparata, struck out swinging her first at bat, and takes low for ball 1. Paparotto lays off.
They're going to check that one, but for Paparotto, the only area where I feel like she can continue to grow in is I love the aggressiveness. You see her get ready to go on, yes, every swing, but it's just being more decisive, understanding when she wants to go all in on a pitch or wait. Now she's in a 3-0 situation. This is a perfect time to get really greedy and say, unless this pitch is right here, I am not swinging at it.
No, and she's not. It's in the dirt, and I don't think she knew it was ball 4. I'll check that because it's not. It's 3-1.
We were looking at our scoreboard a little bit. That's why you always have to keep track of it yourself.
Now 3-2. And so Paparotto being selective and Dels taking advantage. Looking for her first 1-2-3 inning of the evening. Paparotto stays alive.
For Rise, if they can get out of this inning, this will be their very first clean inning against the Vibe. So far, they've put on so much pressure the first 2 innings, scoring a run apiece on each one.
3-2. Inside, ball 4. So that elusive 1-2-3 inning will have to wait, as that's the first walk issued by Dels, and that brings up Madison Kennedy.
It's a great job by Paparotto, understanding that her job is just to get somebody on base. It's the second time we've seen Smith do that this series with a little bit of a throw and a back pick, making sure she's keeping these Vibe players very honest with their lead.
It also appears like a no-look, too. She'll just fire it over there, and I'm sure that that's something that's discussed between her and Trierweiler at first.
Most of the time you have a secret sign per se, so she knows that it's coming.
0-2 in there, strike 3 called. Third strikeout for Dels. She strands the runner at first and through 2.5. A 2-0 lead for the Vibe over the Rise on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Welcome you back. Bottom of the 3rd inning, a 2-0 lead for the Florida Vibe. And there are the McCrays. There's Sydney McCray, daughter of Crash Rodney McCray. And, how did Rodney McCray get his nickname Crash? We take it back to 1991 when he was a minor leaguer in the Chicago White Sox organization, crashing right into the wall. That was before everything went viral. That hit all the news outlets, crashing the fence. So, like father, like daughter, we take it to June of 2024. And, of course, a thump against the wall. No crash there, but it's like it runs in the family there, Sydney Suplee.
Clearly, he taught her maybe a few of his mistakes, and she's able to find the wall first before making the catch. But he's just such a competitor. You can see that in the way he was willing to literally run through a wall for his team. Now, you chatted with him a little bit about the play. He said, thank goodness that the wall did break. It saved him a few injuries, but this man's passion goes from playing to now coaching. It's specifically his daughter, who most people don't realize she is still in college. She's going to GCU after this, has 2 more years of eligibility. Now, how she's able to do that is because they're independent teams. These games are considered exhibition games. Otherwise, you only see professional athletes who have finished their collegiate career eligibility-wise.
Which I think could only help the league, at least in the near term, because you can attract some of these players that are looking to play summer ball and keep themselves loose and ready and get you ready for the next level. There's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2 to McCray.
And I talked to Coach McCray before this game. I said, when you look at Sydney, college is going to feel easy now because she is facing some of the best pitchers to ever play the game. That this is such a great way to prepare yourself with the very best so that when you come back, you feel ready for everything.
Yeah, and she's had a good career so far. Started at Florida Southwestern State before moving over to Grand Canyon. Was a second-team All-NJCAA All-American and second-team All-Southern Conference selection. Hitting .250 on the season. Behind in the count 1-2 and a swing and a miss. And she goes down swinging. 3rd punch-out for Johnson. And there's one away to begin the home half of the 3rd.
Last inning, you mentioned how you felt like Johnson couldn't finish. Well, right there, she does a great job working away and then coming back inside, up and in. It's a much better pitch that's spinning through the zone, allowing her to capitalize on that.
So now 2nd time through the order, Ashley Trierweiler steps up to the plate, grounded out to short. In her first at-bat, attacks the first pitch and slams it down the left field line. That's a fair ball. One hops the wall, and Trierweiler is in at second with a 1-out double.
Trierweiler hitting it on the nose. A perfectly placed ball in terms of how it cuts when it hit left field on the line. She is just so patient before exploding through the ball in that extension. It's a hard play to make for Canedo. And a stand-up double play. A great way to respond after having 1 out and 1 strikeout.
And so now you see Frazier go out there talking to Johnson. There's been a runner at second in every inning so far, and probably just trying to get on the same page size-wise. Elizabeth Hightower warming up in the Florida bullpen. And the first pitch dotted on the inside corner to Jenna Laird, strike 1.
And Hightower, we only saw her for a glimpse yesterday, but 3 pitches was all it took for her to get a very needed out to keep her team in the game. And she's somebody who is on our radar, been very effective in the circle.
Driven out to deep center field. Back goes Greenwood, still going back. It's off the wall. Trierweiler rounds third. Here comes the throw, and Trierweiler scores ahead of it. An RBI double for Jenna Laird, and the Rise are on the board. It's 2-1.
I think one of the most surprising plays we've seen so far today is how far Alex Honnold was in. And it's just a line shot that goes deep over all the way off the wall, but she had to go all the way back for it. I mean, her back is completely turned. She was playing so in, and that goes to show when you showcase multiple tool athletes, Laird being one of them, she's run through the box so far today, you can really mess with the defense.
Here's Alex Honnold, single to left her first time up. Takes outside, 1-0. Well, Sydney, you know the challenges second and third time through the order. And especially for hot bats like the Rise have, specifically at the top third of their order.
And so far, we have not seen a pitcher on either side that has went past 4 innings. So it's right around the mark, this inning or next inning, that you would almost anticipate a new pitcher coming in.
2-0, 3-0. Honnold looking to pick up her Tiger teammate at second base. And 445 on the season so far with that single and a 4-pitch walk. And so the Rise with 2 women aboard, and that'll bring up McKenna Smith.
This is a time for Johnson to recollect herself after a well-hit ball and then a walk off of her. But so far today, anytime she's got into trouble, she's really been able to respond well.
Smith struck out looking on a filthy off-speed pitch, her first at-bat, and takes high and away, 1-0.
This is a well-timed timeout by Frazier. When you have Smith, who, while she had the strikeout, was so dominant yesterday at the plate. She was aggressive and really executed within each and every at-bat. So this is a really big turning point of the game. If you could capitalize and get this second out, would be really effective. And I'm talking a quality out. Smith most likely puts the ball in play, but how could you get her to miss hit it, pop it up, or a ground ball?
Smith drove in 3 yesterday. Has an opportunity to drive in 3 runs right now with 1 swing of the bat. And takes an outside corner strike, 1-1.
And for Smith, she is going to see predominantly all outside when she showed that her power zone was on the inner half of the plate yesterday.
First team All-Pac-12 selection in 2022. Grounds it to third. Scooped up by Paprata, slings it across the diamond to retire Smith. A productive out as Laird goes to third and Honnold up to second. And there's 2 outs for Lenny Malkin.
Paprata does a great job moving across the field for this out, but I can't lie, I'm a little bit surprised that she never once looked to either tag the runner at third or even look for the double play. However, it didn't seem like Newland was quite there on time, so when in doubt, always get the out, but I think there was an opportunity to turn 2.
Well, Lenny Malkin will try and make Florida pay. Trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning, already a run home. And a check swing, and third base umpire Alex Leap said that she went around, strike 1. And this will bring out Mike Scott.
It's an interesting time to call a timeout. It's just right after you throw a strike, but one thing about Mike Scott is he knows this team so well and what these players need. We have heard nothing but rave reviews from his team right there, Hightower. She was one of the ones who was giving him his flowers for sure. And what I loved is they called him an angel on earth, really like their second dad. And it's this investment that he's giving in these players emotionally, but also he treats the girls. He treated them to a New York Mets game. They went to the city today. So many of these opportunities are supported by him.
Here's the 0-1 wave and a miss. And when I asked him what he thought about the angel on earth comment, he said, how much did they pay to say that?
A humble guy through and through.
Laird at third, Honnold at second. A 2-1 lead for the Vibe, home half of the 3rd inning. Johnson with the 0-2. Popped up right behind home plate. And then clanks off the press box and scatters away. Count stays 0-2.
You can see the people in the stands fighting over who gets the ball. I love the multiple gloves we have here, too, by the fans. Everyone's ready to get in on the action.
You got to bring your glove to the game. No matter where you are, you always have to be prepared. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got her with a changeup. Frazier applies the tag, and the inning is over. But an RBI double by Jenna Laird puts the Rise on the board. Through 3, 2-1 Florida Vibe on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Welcome back to Bill Edwards Stadium. And like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Varsity Media proud to announce all the home games for the New York Rise this season. And, of course, watch our next telecast tomorrow night, starting at 6:45, as the Rise looking to either win the series or sweep the Florida Vibe. But Florida has something to say about that, leading 2-1, top of the 4th inning, as it'll be Katie Kistler to lead it off for the Vibe, 0 for 1 on the day. She's Sydney Suplee. I'm John Perez, and Shanice Dels back out on the mound to go to this bottom third of the order for the Vibe.
And Kistler is somebody who really lays within that middle of the lineup, but she gets a ton of bop. 2 home runs, which leads the way for this Florida Vibe team. Somebody who can be a difference maker with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, Kistler out of Orange Park, Florida, was a Florida Gator. Hit .282 in her senior year for Florida. 5 home runs, 45 runs driven in the SEC.
Talk about the SEC. There is a lot of players who came from that conference playing on the field today from both sides and throughout the league. And also within the last 48 hours, we've welcomed now Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. And there's ball 4. With July 1st, now all the conference realignment comes into play. So it's basically conference bingo and seeing where everyone plays out.
What I have to love is that ESPN, they went to both of the different universities who were joining the conference. And when they went to Oklahoma, they brought out Kaylani Ricketts. They brought out Coach Gasso. I mean, huge faces, just putting softball again on that national recognition.
Well, I mean, the run that they're on, 4 straight titles, they have to be the face of the SEC.
Well, the SEC is the only conference who had every single team make the tournament. So they're going to be facing tough competition, and adding Oklahoma and Texas, who were 1-2 predominantly throughout the entire season, is just going to make that conference so deadly, but also so exciting every single weekend.
There's Alana Vaughter from South Carolina behind in the count 0-1. Struck out swinging her first at bat, shows bunt, and dribbles it to the left side. Williams up with it, fires low to first, but Blampede covers for the out. Kistler goes over to second.
And Vaughter is nothing but laughing. I don't think anybody expected to see her do a bunt right there. She trips about halfway and just laughs it off with Taylor Pleasance, who is out this professional season. One of the best shortstops to ever play at LSU. She actually broke her finger. This was right before Super Regionals on a pitching machine for a bunting drill. So that was a devastating mark for her, but she played throughout her entire college career after that injury as well. But now, I mean, what she's doing at first base, just continuing to show up for her team.
Yeah, and it's always good to have that experience, even if she wasn't intending to be a coach, but still getting the job done over as the first base coach now for the Florida Vibe. And pitch is low, 1-1. There's Taylor. Taylor grew up in Houston at LSU, and like you said, named to all SEC teams in each of her 4 years. First team honor, 2 second-team selections, part of the all-defensive team in the SEC.
And now she can add coach to her resume. And part of the reason why the Vibe wanted to sign her is they wanted to have her not only this year as just somebody who can increase and grow their culture, but as an athlete next season when she's able to be back playing.
3-1 pitch right back to the mound. Delsh checks the runner but doesn't go to third and gets the out at first. 2 away.
We've seen a good amount of balls hit back up to the pitcher, specifically with Delsh, but really both ways, and that goes to show the adjustment these hitters have made. They're getting sawed off on that inner half pitch. They're doing a great job keeping their hands inside their barrel.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Carmen Greenwood. 2 for 2 on the day, an RBI single her last time up. They made it 2-0. The Rise adding a run in the third inning to make it 2-1. Oh, no, wave and a miss. Good rise by Delsh. It's 1-1.
And that rise ball is as good as it is because the pitch before is a sharp drop ball. So as a hitter, you just have no idea where she's going.
Lifted down the left field line, giving chase. Waddle, she makes the play in stride, and the inning is over. Waddle flashing the leather, and we're through 3.5 to the bottom of the fourth. A 2-1 lead for the Vibe on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's premier high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Halfway home here at Bill Edwards Stadium, and we'd like to thank our sponsors as well. Hofstra University, New Balance, Wilson, Azure Transportation, Vincent's Clam Bar of Long Island, Erica Cole Salon, as well as Polsky Sports and Entertainment, Print Station, Catcher Matrix, and Lululemon for supporting the New York Rise and all that they do to help support pro women's softball in New York. Rise up.
And John, while I look at this entire sponsorship list, one stands out in particular is Lululemon. I mean, it is every athlete and young girl's dream to be sponsored by a company that so many people wear. And I got to see the gear that the New York Rise had that was Lululemon. I mean, these are nice quality pullovers that you're paying around $100 for, and they're getting it with the New York Rise logo embroidered inside. I mean, talk about some gear that I even want.
Yeah, no, I'm jealous too. And the whole uniform and the color scheme, it's really cool to see all the pink socks tonight. Everybody in uniform. The home white jerseys were neat to see yesterday as well. As here's Sammy Williams, attacks the first pitch. Schultz, it's a left center field. That's deep. But Greenwood is there, makes the catch just shy of the warning track. And Williams is retired for the first out.
One of the best at-bats we've seen so far by Williams. It's a well-hit ball, but just, again, another tough defensive play with the outfield really playing in, having to have a sharp drop step, but able to chase it down.
So here's Riley Blampede. With her wheels, the Rise would love to have her aboard. And socks it foul down the right field line, 0-1.
I mean, I am still not over how yesterday she got on first base, stole second base, and the very next pitch stole third base. Granted, it was a foul ball, so she had to go back. But let me tell you, nobody was about to throw her out.
Hit the ball on the nose her last time up as well. A liner right back through the box, and that took the glove off of Johnson, but a good recovery by Grayson Radcliffe, the shortstop, to get the lead runner in Malkin. So what could have been disaster for the Vibe turns out to just be an out. 1-1, up and in, 2-1.
And that's a good, hard, late take. You could tell Blampede was saying yes, yes, yes in her mind until the very last second.
Blampede in the 7-hole. Ahead in the count, 2-1, the pitch. 2-2. We saw earlier that Elizabeth Hightower was warming up at the bullpen for the Vibe. She's not doing that now, and you have to imagine it's an out-by-out scenario for Mike Scott as the counts run full.
And as a pitcher, when you're getting ready to enter a game, you do it very carefully. You usually have 2 points of the game that you're going to warm up on, and then you only go if it's an emergency situation. So that way you're not overthrowing if you don't have to throw, but also if you have to go multiple innings in the game.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Got her with the upstairs rise. And that's the 5th strikeout for Johnson, 2 away in the 4th.
Johnson's ability to really weather any storm that the New York Rise has had to try to produce. And a lot of the reason why is this tight inside rise ball. She's going up against righties. Such a tough pitch to hit when it's breaking so late.
Kayla Wadle steps up, the left fielder, attacks the first pitch, and then hits it off the face mask of Mario Calabrese for strike 1. That'll wake you up.
Absolutely. When you're a hitter trying to go up against a rise ball that has so much sharp late break, it's really important that you want to try to keep your hands above your barrel and you really hit the top of the ball because it's going to break at the last second even higher than you expect it to do. And you're starting to see the Rise players try to get on top. They're not quite there, but they're making a bit of an adjustment.
A 1 pitch. Wadle shows bunt, goes right back to the circle. Late covering, but they get the out at first as Johnson completes it to Allie Newland. And they get Wadle by a stride. A 1-2-3 inning for the Vibe. 4 in the books. 2-1 Florida on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter, and now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Shanice Dels back out in the circle for the top of the 5th inning. And what is starting to become a pitcher's duel, Sydney Suplee, is Dels has not had a 1-2-3 inning, but has gotten the outs when she's needed them the most.
It looks like she psyched even you out, John, going out there for a fake warm-up pitches, but at the last second, she hands the ball off to Maria Lopez, who had an incredible career over at the University of Utah. And man, when she pitched in 2024, opposing hitters against her rise ball were hitting around 150, and then against her east to west pitches, 285.
Yeah, Maria Lopez out of Peoria, Arizona, 2-0 on the year, a 1.54 ERA, like you mentioned, that 4-year career for the Utah Utes. She threw over 600 innings and was the first pitcher in program history to win more than 20 games in back-to-back seasons. And I know that we've talked about her off the air, when getting to see her in person is a real treat. And the Southpaw just trying to keep this a 2-1 game here in the 5th inning. And she'll deal to 2, 3, 4 due up in the order. And I think if there was any time to bring Lopez in, if you were going to, it's at this part of the order where Canedo, Newland, and Frazier have all hit Dels hard.
Mariah Lopez is somebody who has been such a champion at every single program she has been to, putting Utah on such a national map when they went to the Women's College World Series. She's somebody who I have a ton of respect for, and she is looking to build this New York Rise team into another championship caliber franchise.
Here's Kara Canedo, who is 0 for 1 on the day, but you're right for Lopez. And how about Utah this year, too? 35-22, losing to UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game. That's up the middle and through for a base hit. And Canedo picks up her first hit of the evening on a leadoff single against Lopez.
I mean, when you mention that game, such a tough matchup, and I think people often overlook how hard it is to win a regional, be the only team out of 4 teams to get out of it, but then go up against a super regional. I mean, you're talking the very best teams there is, and it takes talent, but sometimes it just takes the right chemistry and a little bit of luck.
Here's Allie Newland, attacks the first pitch. Could be a double play ball, but goes through the wickets of Laird into center field. It'll be an E6 as Canedo moves up to second and Newland's on at first.
And that situation is when you get overly excited as an infielder, saying, oh my goodness, the ball's coming to me. I'm in perfect position to throw a double play instead of just focusing on one thing at a time. And your number one priority is to field the ball cleanly, ensure at least one out.
Well, in Florida, not wasting any time against Lopez either. Someone who pounds the strike zone and putting the ball in play. Sierra Frazier hitless in 2 at-bats. Hits it on the ground, through it into left field for a base hit. Mike Scott slams on the brake sign as the throw comes all the way home. Second hit of the inning against Lopez as Frazier's on at first and the bases are loaded for the Vibe.
This reminds me all too well of when the New York Rise made the pitching change to Sarah Cornell yesterday, the midway through, and how much the Vibe was just ready to go. The second a new arm went into the circle. That's very hard to do, and it's credit to Mike Scott and the rest of the team having a game plan and then being able to execute it right away.
This will bring out pitching coach Tony Marie Valerio. Played her college career at Queens College, a Division II school, just about 20 minutes away without traffic. Valerio grew up in Farmingdale and pitching for the Knights.
We've been talking about 2A players all day long, and she was one of those. Did so well, not only in the circle, but also at the plate. And I think that's very valuable to have as a pitching coach because she just understands not only what the pitchers are thinking, but also from the hitting aspect and pitch calling that she's doing.
So here's Michaela Paparata. Skies the first pitch down the left field line, and Wade will just watch as it go out of play.
And that's one of those that you have to tell yourself, it's just another strike. A very long one, but at the end of the day, it all goes down the same in the scorebook.
It's now the 4th batter. 3 of them have attacked the first pitch. Bases loaded in a 2-1 game. The pitch outside, 1-1.
If you look across the diamond, you have everybody playing in tight. With it being a 1-run ball game, you want to do anything you can do to get that ball home.
1-1, off-speed pitch. Dotted on the outside corner, 1-2.
Every pitcher so far today, when they're going to that off-speed, they are painting the outer half of the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. The pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Smith, 2-2. Canedo, the lead runner at third, and Newland at second, and Frazier at first. Florida looking for insurance. Top half of the 5th inning. 2-2. Popped up, first base side. And as Trueweiler can't make the catch. And it lands in foul territory.
We saw a similar play yesterday where Trueweiler had to turn almost 180 degrees, and we talked about how it's so much easier for the second baseman or right fielder. Now, granted, that one is a very long run for McRae to have to come in. But if you're Blampied, I am calling my first baseman off all day. It's a huge out and a missed opportunity.
Foul ball negates the infield fly. The pitch in the dirt, 3-2.
Smith just smothering the ball, and now you're in a tough situation. A 3-2 count, no outs, runners on every single base. You have to throw it in the zone. Give your defense an opportunity to make a play behind you.
Infield drawn in, the payoff pitch. Socked into right field. McCray ranges over, makes the catch, turns around and fires it into second. A run will score. Nifty play by Sidney McCray to keep the force alive. As Canedo scores, it's a sacrifice fly for Michaela Paprada, and that makes it 3-1 Florida.
Very mature play made by McCray, understanding that is the type of out where you don't even waste time going home, but her ability to quickly pivot behind her and make that play at second base. But from a hitting standpoint, that's about as good as it gets, sending it deep to right field, allowing your runner at third plenty of opportunity.
So now runners on the corners and one out. Here's Madison Kennedy. Shows bunt, pulls back, and no advancement by the first base runner, Ciara Frazier. Strike one.
And this is a play we've seen multiple times today. So far, every single one, Smith has thrown down to Blampede, who's cut it off.
Kennedy 0 for 2 on the day. Can't hold her swing. Behind in the count, 0-2.
The infield now playing back, looking to turn the double play in the middle infielders.
0-2. Popped up left side, foul territory. Sammy Williams makes the catch for a queen size second out.
And Lopez is doing something that needs to get a lot of credit. She is forcing multiple short fly balls. I mean, that one was a dropped opportunity by Treeweiler, but before that, I mean, she had two amazing pitches to create pop-ups and limit the damage.
Katie Kistler takes low for ball one. Walked in her last at-bat, was stranded at third. One and one.
I mean, that ball just grazed in right under her elbow. No fear in going inside on the plate.
A similar pitch that we saw with Ford in her off-speed pitches yesterday. Got the win yesterday for the Rise. It just misses 2-1.
Lopez, 70, who throws predominantly Rise in her curveball. You're going to see her have her weight back a lot of the time, just trying to generate that up spin.
2-1 coming. That's line foul down the left field line. And so Lopez a strike away from getting out of it.
And if you're the Rise, you have to look at this. If you get the third out right here as a momentum builder and not a killer, giving up one out, it's limiting the damage to what could have been a lot worse.
Ellie Newland at third, Frazier at first. The 2-2 right down the middle. Strike three called. Frozer with a changeup. And the inning is over as Lopez gets the much-needed strikeout.
It's the off-seed pulling the string. What a pitch by Lopez. Catches everybody in the ballpark freezing and keeps her team within this ball game.
We roll to the bottom of the fifth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Bill Edwards Stadium, a 3-1 lead for the Vibe. Of course, double play has been a busy mutt so far in this homestand.
And John, well, it looks like Double Play is getting autographs. At least that's what the children want. When I saw the line yesterday after the game, I mean, the autographs started all the way at home plate. They went all the way down to the edge of right field. These teams and these younger players who are showing up, not only are they watching great softball, but they are inspiring to be these athletes someday playing professional softball.
And that line was just for you.
Yeah.
Players seeing a lot of jealousy and envy. They're like, hey, we're the ones that played. Had your own police escort out here as Sydney McCray will lead things off in the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2 due up for the Rise. It's been 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Vibe. The Rise, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors. That's been the Rise's undoing today. But how about Johnson on the mound, as Jordan Johnson has been solid so far. And of Paolo, Kansas, showing why she is one of the best pitchers on this Vibe staff. Struck out 5 in 4 innings of work and is just allowed the 2 walks. First pitch to McCray, sprayed foul, 0-1.
What I love as both of these pitchers are going longer into the game, granted now you saw Rise switch to Lopez, but for Johnson, so many opportunities to just continue to grow throughout the game. There's been moments of struggle, but she has come out on the other side every time so far.
This is the bunt attempt, and behind in the count, 0-2.
And for McCray, sometimes she tends to speed herself up. Granted, she is still a college athlete. This is the best softball that there is. So if she could just find a way to slow the game down, she's an athlete. She will make plays and put the ball in play.
Has good instincts in the outfield as well. 0-2, just outside. 1-2.
It's a great job being disciplined right there. A very hard pitch to lay off of with 2 strikes.
Rocking the fire, the 1-2. Launch down the left field line. Long run for Canedo. Dives and can't make the play. Good effort, but didn't hang up for her. And the count stays at 1-2.
I mean, great effort. You will see that Radcliffe goes all the way to left field just to give her some love. And while McCray's up to bat, there was one story that I heard today that I absolutely loved is this entire New York Rise teams, they stay in the dorms here at Hofstra. And also, Coach McCray stays with them. And between him and Sydney, they love to cook. And on Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. They make tacos for the players as long as they clean up. That's the trade-off.
Well, trying to have a good Taco Tuesday tonight, but McCray goes down looking. Second strikeout for McCray at the dish. And that's 6 Ks for Johnson. And now top of the order, Ashley Treeweiler will step up for the Rise. I think that's a pretty solid rule. As long as you clean up, McCray's are the ones doing the cooking.
It's a great rule, and Johnson finished this off and freezes McCray. She does such a great job so far in the back half of the game of switching up where she wants to go with 2 strikes. You saw her early on really being aggressive and throwing the ball up in the zone, but now she's starting to freeze a few of these Rise hitters, get back into her groove.
Top third of the order for the Rise. 3 for 5 on the day with a couple of doubles and a walk. Treeweiler doubled down the left field line her last time up and then came around to score on the RBI double by Jenna Laird. Comes a 1-1. 1-2. That off-speed pitch really working for Johnson so far this evening.
And behind the plate, both of the pitchers are getting the call when they're able to locate that off speed on the outer half of the plate, whether it's a lefty or righty up to bat.
1-2. On the ground is short. 1 hop. Radcliffe throws it away, and Treeweiler's on. First error of the evening for the Vibe, and now that'll bring up the tying run to the plate, Jenna Laird.
Treeweiler, just such a hard out to get. We've seen her hit with so much power today, and then she runs through the box, and that can really catch any defense off guard. And you saw Radcliffe almost was on her heels a little bit and just sails that one, understanding how much speed that Treeweiler has.
Laird 1 for 2 on the day. Pulls back the bunt, takes a strike, snap throw down to first, and the covering Newland just laid on the tag of Treeweiler.
Whew, what a play. Frazier does a great job understanding that Treeweiler got off further on the bag on that bunt attempt.
One not bunting, fisted in the left field, a base hit. Laird's got her second hit of the day as Treeweiler pulls into second and Laird is on at first. And that'll bring up Alex Honnold.
And that's a textbook hit out of Derek Jeter's book, the inside-out swing, sending it to left field. For Johnson, you can't be upset about that. That's a good pitch, but I think that will end the night here for Johnson today, and we will see the highly anticipated Elizabeth Hightower.
Yeah, we'll meet Elizabeth Hightower when we come back. Pitching change for Florida as Alex Honnold will come to the plate with runners on first and second and one out on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter, and now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome you back as the first pitch by Alex Honnold back to the mound, and the out is made at third. Off the new pitcher by Elizabeth Hightower. So one pitch, 1-1-5 put out. And two away, and that'll bring up McKenna Smith. Well, the new pitcher for the Florida Vibe is Elizabeth Hightower out of Monticello, Florida, and one of those Florida Gators as well. 9th most shutouts in Gator history, all SEC second team selection in the 2019 SEC All-Freshman team. Comes in a hot spot, runners on first and second and two down. That's hit up the middle and through for a base hit past the diving Radcliffe. Treeweiler rounds third, she scores. It's an RBI single for McKenna Smith, and that makes it 3-2.
Smith getting the job done once again. Coming up in a clutch situation, Hightower has had nothing but success, and she takes a rise ball and chops it down on the ground. It's a hard play to make, and just the speed and the aggressiveness continues to be the reason for success for the New York Rise.
And so now the tying run at second base with two outs, and here's Lenny Malkin, who takes inside 1-0. Malkin a walk and a strikeout. Was erased on a fielder's choice in the second inning.
Malkin is one of those hitters who I feel like has been a bit quiet, but she is just ready to explode.
Yeah, you get that sense, and of course a veteran presence, and Malkin, heck of a player at Arkansas. And we mentioned the international players playing professionally. Well, she played in Amsterdam professionally as well for Harlem. It's two A's in that Harlem spelling.
Just the opportunities that are in the States and internationally that these women have an opportunity to go play in Japan. I was also talking to one of them today who was an opportunity to go play in the Virgin Islands. And I was like, why not? Absolutely. So it's just so cool to see the way the sport is growing in the United States, but then across the world as well.
No, it's been great to see, 100%. And in hopes of growing the game here domestically, and of course in the Northeast would be a great thing to see. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on the pitch. Check swing. Did she go? No appeal, and that's down and in for ball 3.
And if you look at the pitches that Malkin is taking, she is wanting that pitch on the outer half of the plate. That's why she's been so quiet and patient. Anything inside.
Pitch. Socked foul.
For the Rise, Florida took an early lead already in the first inning. They have not been able to take that lead back, but this is another opportunity with 2 outs. 3-2 count. The runner is going on the pitch.
There they go. 3-2. Tagged foul again. So Malkin not getting cheated as Hightower trying to go down and in on Malkin, but can't get strike 3. Three-two. Serve down the left field line. Just foul. And Canedo was shaded all the way towards that left field line, and ball just didn't hang up for her.
Hightower is living on that inner half of the plate against Malkin. She finally makes a huge adjustment. If you're Hightower, you got to change your location.
To the payoff pitch again. Upstairs, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
I like that pitch call there, trying a changeup. If it would have been a strike, I think it could have easily had the opportunity to freeze any hitter up to bat. But you feel the crowd starting to get into it. You hear a little bit of stomping on the bleachers. What an opportunity right now for the Rise.
Sammy Malkins attacks the first pitch and lines it into center field, a base hit, and the game is tied. Honnold is in to score. Here comes the throw to the plate, not in time. McKenna Smith slides in ahead of the tag. Sammy Williams with the go-ahead 2 RBI single. It's 4-3 Rise.
And from Williams' last at bat, it was a quality line drive. She comes back up. Same thing, is going to send it up the middle. And then the aggressiveness. Not only does Smith score, but then you have the trail runner come around. And McRae is just using his speed on his team, but it's that slide is what ultimately allows McKenna Smith to get home in time. And that's a catcher who is squatting inning after inning to still have that capability and strength in her legs to do the job when her team needs it.
Riley Blampede takes low for ball 1, and we were talking about Lenny Malkin being that player that is on the rise. Well, we felt that way about Sammy Williams, too. Gave it a drive to deep center field her first time up and then wasted no time socking the pitch into center field. Now the count 1-1 to Blampede. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole second base in the second inning. Struck out swinging her last time up. And closes the book on Jordan Johnson. On the ground to short. Radcliffe goes the short way, and the inning is over. But the Rise pull in front as they push 3 across to take a 4-3 lead, going to the 6th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Top of the 6th inning, the sun setting here on Long Island. As well, what a gorgeous sunset behind the trees. Here in Hempstead at Hofstra University. Bill Edwards Stadium is the place to be for all New York Rise home games. And if you can't make it, or if you're watching from outside of the New York metropolitan area. Well, we'll have the game tomorrow night as the Rise now taking the lead. Should they win tonight, going for the sweep against the Florida Vibe. And our coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. Sydney Suplee, I'm John Perez. And Sydney, now Maria Lopez comes on, and she's got a lead going into the 6th inning.
How lucky are we that both games we are going into the 6th inning have been a one-run ball game? I mean, these are the moments you live for as players, as fans to watch. This is high-class professional softball through and through.
And the interesting thing, too, and you see how errors can come back to haunt you, 3 of the 4 runs for the Rise unearned. But either way, putting pressure on the defense again, and the Rise finally doing what the Vibe did to them. Of course, New York had trouble fielding the ball through the first 3 innings. That allowed to the 2 runs for the Vibe. They added another run, but now the Vibe in front, the Rise in front, as Alana Vaughter takes outside 1-0.
It's amazing how one error can really change the momentum of a game and allow the other team to gain that momentum on their side. And it's something that the person who knows it the most is Vaughter, just being a pitcher in the circle, and she could be the spark her team needed. Going back to her very first Florida at-bat being a home run for the Vibe.
Strikeout and sack bunt, officially 0 for 1, and now make it 0 for 2 as Williams is there to haul it in. 1 away to begin the 6th.
And if you look at the breakdown of how many outs Lopez has generated fly balls here today, it's been about 80%. She continues to just get up in on the hands, and it's that late break going up that's creating so many weak fly balls.
Grayson Radcliffe, 1 for 2 on the day, came around to score as Lopez deals the first pitch high and tight, 1-0.
And that's what you have to do if you're the Florida Vibe. You have to establish a ceiling and know that you are not going to chase any pitch above that ceiling.
Right back to the netting, 1-1. Radcliffe started her career at Marshall, then played 3 years at Indiana, 2 second-team All-Big Ten selections. Grew up in Rockville, Virginia. 1-1 pitch. And it's just outside, 2-1.
And I might be a bit biased, but to be able to see Radcliffe and then Courtney Weish on the Rise side, just to bring a little bit of love to the Big Ten and what they can bring, that gritty competitiveness to the field.
And of course, you get a Hoosier and a Terrapin. Weish being the Terrapin. We haven't seen Weish yet. I know that there was discussion of her either pitching today or being saved for tomorrow. But Lopez, the pitcher of record, now behind in the count 3-1. So number 9 hitter Radcliffe. Upstairs, ball 4.
Lopez going to that Rise ball deep in the count. But Radcliffe does a great job of just understanding right now her team needs any little bit of life, and a walk could do the job.
Carmen Greenwood, 2 hits and 3 at-bats. An RBI single in the second made it 2-0. First pitch to the Louisville Cardinal. 0-1. Greenwood was hitless yesterday, but he's gotten off the schneid now. Came into the road trip hitting .519 and sprays it just foul. That had danger written all over it.
She is somebody who you're going to see make that adjustment because you do not have an over 500 average and are able to just stay so mentally in it. But what she's so successful on is she can hit so many different types of pitches. If you look at her heat map, it's all over the zone.
2 pitch on the inside corner. Got her looking.
What a great job by Lopez, who drew a walk by throwing so many Rise balls, but this time she utilizes her pitches lower in the zone and is able to freeze the hitter.
Number 23, Kara Canetto.
You'll see after going Rise ball how many times, comes in with a little bit of a screwball, some might even say a low rise, and it just breaks in perfectly.
Kara Canedo takes upstairs, ball one. Now 2 strikeouts out of the bullpen for Lopez. Canedo greeted Lopez with a first pitch single to center. Our last time up, officially 1 for 2 with a sacrifice on the day. Came around to score. That made it a 3-1 lead for the Vibe.
When you talk to Coach Scott, he talked about Canedo as somebody who wants it every single time they're up to bat. But even if she doesn't get that hit, it's how can she do something to add value to her team and on the field.
The quote from Coach Scott was, she gets upset when she goes 1 for 2.
And that's what makes her such an incredible player, is that competitiveness inside her, never satisfied unless she's doing everything well.
2-1. Lifted, shallow right, McCray coming in, still coming in, makes the catch. And the inning is over. Much easier inning for Maria Lopez. We go to the bottom of the 6th, a 4-3 lead for the Rise on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. One of the cool things here at Bill Edwards Stadium is in the bottom of the 6th, they light up the night, and a cool visual that we saw last night now on display here as well, and they're liking what they're seeing out of the Rise, Sydney Suplee. A 4-3 lead going to the bottom of the 6th and a chance to add some insurance.
I mean, it's a concert out here. What is more magical than this? You have Double Play getting in on the action. These are the type of momentums that feed a team and franchise to doing great things, and that's why you see Rise able to take the lead here at the end, is because they stick together and they have the fan base and community behind them.
I like the Double Play gave the telephone away. Can't imagine he's on a family plan. I mean, his thumbs have to be too big to type, right?
You put a lot of thought into this. That's what I love.
Just curious.
And he is leading this stomping here.
Well, the other thing, too, is why would he need a phone? He can't speak.
I mean, he's talked to me. He just might not talk to you. That's the thing.
That's what it is. Actively avoiding me. As here's Kayla Wadle. Attacks the first pitch, lifts it out to left field. Canedo started back but comes in. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Wadle has just seen so many inside pitches today. That was one she actually got out in front on, but still just a little bit handcuffed, not able to hit it on the barrel. And now you have McCray, who has been sped up so far today, but if she's able to slow herself down, her speed on the base is so hard to get her out.
McCray, a couple of strikeouts and 2 at-bats. Johnson trying to keep this a 4-3 game, and the Vibe will have 3, 4, 5 due up in the order in the 7th. Pitch inside, 1-1.
For Hightower, you just want to attack McCray. Do anything you can to have 2 outs before going back to the heart of the order and having to face Treeweiler again.
One. Lifted foul into the bullpen, and a nice catch by Alana Vaughter. And then flips it right back in. She's some athlete, huh?
She is, and it's interesting to see her getting a little bit of action here in the bullpen. If I had to guess, they're using her as a potential backup if they were to need it, but more than anything, throwing a bullpen and getting herself ready to go again for tomorrow.
1-2 pitch on the inner half. Strike 3 called. So McCray with the hat trick. And there's 2 away in the 6th.
Hightower able to just slide that one in. The curveball that paints the corner. She's fired up after that strikeout. She understands what a big shutdown inning could do for this team.
Treweiler, a double, reached on an error and a ground out. Waves and misses through a changeup, 0-1.
I mean, with a swing like that, you know how deceptible that changeup had to be in the box. And Hightower hasn't thrown many, but when she does, it's at a very rare and timely.
Just misses, 1-1.
Treweiler, somebody we've seen show off her power, but also run through the box. She continues to keep the defense around her very honest. They were all playing a little bit back with 2 outs, but now they're having to play her a lot more straight up, and that just opens up the door for her now to go back to her swing.
Well, and it's shown that she could go the other way. In fact, she's gone the other way in all 3 of her at-bats. Ground out to short, doubled down the left field line, and then reached on an E6. As a pitcher, do you pick up on those things, and how do you adjust?
You have to really take a pitch one by one against somebody like Treweiler. Understand she could be bunting on one pitch and then square up to swing away on the other. So you have to treat each one with its own respect. And just because she did one thing one time, you have to almost anticipate it's going to lead to something else the next.
Hightower trying to get through the 6th. 3-2 pitch. Hammered foul.
For a lot of people, they don't recognize how difficult it is to run through the box because you're a good few steps higher and closer to the pitcher, so your reaction time has to be even greater.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, slow, ball 4. First walk issued by Hightower. That'll bring up Jenna Laird.
Laird, somebody who has been effective already so far today. That's where Rise is so good, being able to draw a walk with 2 outs. Anything to just slow down a momentum that the Vibe could get with a shutout inning.
Laird 2 for 3 on the day, had that RBI double to open up the scoring for the Rise in the 3rd inning.
And Treweiler with a pretty aggressive lead at the beginning. See the wave going around here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they send her in this situation.
Well, there she's going, and hit and run is on, but fouled off.
And this is the type of situation, why not take an opportunity to get another runner in scoring position and work for that insurance run?
1-1. Fouled off as Treweiler was running on the pitch again.
And she's getting her steps in. That's one of those times where if you're a hitter, you can do the personal, let me tie my shoe really quick, give my base runner a few extra seconds to catch her breath.
Well, Laird stays in the box. 1-2, runner goes. And it just fouled off the, could be the ankle of Frazier.
And once again, Treweiler is almost all the way to second base. You can see her laughing about it at this point. And Murphy's Law, if she weren't to steal on this one, this would be the one that they would get the hit.
Of course, naturally.
Few extra breaths there, collecting herself.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. She's going, wave and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. We go to the 7th, the Rise, looking for the victory on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter. And now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Top of the 7th inning, a 4-3 lead for the New York Rise, 3 outs away from taking Game 2 of this series. As double play has been all aces so far in the homestand. And the crowd ready. And for New York, looking for their 3rd straight victory. It won't be easy. Florida sending up 3-4-5 due up in the order. Allie Newland, Sierra Frazier, and Michaela Paparotto. 3-4-5. You could do that, right?
Oh, absolutely. In my sleep. But I have to tell you, this home crowd would have quite the amount of bragging rights if they remained undefeated here in New York. I mean, you can make an argument the toughest stadium to play in the Pro League right now.
Yeah, 100%. Now, here's my challenge to double play. Cartwheel was cool. Love to see the worm. If a mascot can do the worm, that's elite status.
That's talent
right
for you? Okay. Maybe we need to see you do the worm in tomorrow's opening take.
Well, no, it's not for me. But here, let's take another look.
Breaking down this play, we have a backward handspring into a back tuck. And the crowd is just loving it.
I'll give it a 9.5 right there.
Ooh, hard judge.
Well, if there's something better.
Okay, like the worm,
right.
we would get a 10.
Well, depending on how the worm went.
So we're going to have to talk double play. We're going to break down his worm tomorrow.
Yes.
That's why you should tune into Game 3.
Here's Allie Newland. Back-to-back strikes by Maria Lopez. She now stands on the long side, looking for the victory. Newland had an RBI in the 1st inning and then grounded out in the 3rd and reached on an error in the 5th, officially 0 for 3. 0-2. That's driven down the right field line and yanked foul. Just ahead of it.
And you have to put into perspective that when Lopez came into this game, there was a lot of chaos around it. She was able to work herself out of a jam, only giving up 1 run. And now where New York Rise stands with the advantage going into the 7th inning, that's why minimizing those innings can be so key.
0-2 it hit her. The collective hush of the crowd as Newland will trot over to first, representing the tying run.
The catcher, number 20, Sierra Frazier.
And now you hit the 3 batter. You're going into your 4, 5, 6. Some of the bigger power hitters for this Vibe team. A great opportunity for them to really break down the game. How can you just move the base runner over and then cash in when it matters most?
Sierra Frazier single to left her last time up. 1 for 3 on the day and attacks the first pitch and misses 0-1.
Frazier is catching herself a little bit today, trying to go around the ball quite a bit. Not able to keep her hands in tight enough.
Lopez gets the sign, the 0-1, 1-1.
These are these situations when the dugout gets a little bit louder for the Vibe and the defense. If they can continue to just support Lopez.
1-1. Upstairs, Cheddar. 1-2.
And Frazier needs to find a way to get connected from her lower half to her upper half. When she does that, she is deadly. But right now, just a bit of disconnection.
Newland only 1 stolen base on the year. She has not been running. 1-2. That's a high, 2-2. Tried to get her to chase.
Lopez going a little bit too far out of the zone on that one. An easy take by Frazier. But this is an opportunity when you come back in the zone.
2-2 on the way. Popped up foul territory. Let's see if Treeweiler has room. She doesn't. We'll do it again.
We've seen a little bit of action on both sides of the dugout. Also, take a look at the crowd right there. Or excuse me, the dugout. Looks like Nicole Mendez taking some pictures, showing off her broadcasting, covering, reporting side as well.
She could do it all. 2-2. In the dirt, skips past Smith, and that allows Newland to go to second.
Smith has had her work cut out for her today. Multiple times she's blocked the ball. Now the second one that has got by her, and that's hard to do. We saw yesterday she had to put tape on her fingers when it became nighttime. She hasn't had to do that yet today, but you just wonder if Lopez is chatting with her, making sure they're on the right page in terms of pitch calling.
Yeah, certainly don't want to get crossed up. Three and two to Sierra Frazier, the pitch. Looped, shallow right, long way to run for Blampede. Can't make the catch. It's a foul ball. Ball popped in and out of the glove of Blampede. And that keeps the at-bat alive.
A great run by Blampede, which would have been a huge catch. And that was about a foot away from being a fair ball as well. If that would have went off the glove, man, that would have been a great get for the Vibe in advancing the runners.
Pop-ups on that right side of the infield. So tough for the infielders. Payoff pitch again. This one in fair territory. Easier play for Blampede. Ranges over, makes the catch, one down.
There's a lot of tail coming off the Florida Vibes bats. You've seen on the right side, to your point, they're all breaking towards the dugout or foul ball, and you can see the infielders having to stay with it until the very last second to make the out.
Michaela Paparata, sac fly her last time up. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Paparata 0 for 1 with a walk and a sac fly. And tying run at second base. And fouled off, 1-1.
That little movement, even by Williams, chasing the ball down there. You could see Lopez staying in her circle, really trying to just keep and hold together that energy, conserve it so she can be so explosive on every single pitch.
Lopez bearing down the 1-1. Lifted out to center field. Long run for Honnold, but she gets there. 2 outs.
Lopez continuing to generate so many fly balls. That upspin is just really giving this Vibe a hard time.
And so we'll get a pinch hitter for the Florida Vibe. It's Hannah Adams, the Florida Gator. Last chance for the Vibe. She hits in the spot of Madison Kennedy. Adams was supposed to start yesterday, scratched before the start of the game. You know, the biggest at-bat of the ball game. And takes a fastball on the inside corner, 0-1.
Adams, somebody who's known for her defensive side of the game, a former Golden Glove winner, but she also ranks 6th in Florida program history with a .356 batting average.
Yeah, an All-American with the Gators, as that's outside. 1-1.
And I have to say, John, how many times have I heard you say Florida Gators today?
Well, they've got 3 on the roster. And a Seminole to boot. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch. Just inside. Lopez not getting the call from home plate umpire Mario Calabrese. And so the count's 2-1.
I like how many pitches she has seen so far, and now she's sitting in a hitter's advantage count.
2-1 pitch. That hits the inside corner, and Florida's down to its final strike. It was a 3-run bottom of the 5th inning to put the Rise in front, and now Lopez a strike away from clinching the series for the New York Rise. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She struck her out. And the Rise win it. Maria Lopez comes on in relief and picks up the victory as Sammy Williams, 2 RBI single, puts the Rise in front And a 4-3 victory for New York, taking the first 2 games of the series.
And it has to be credited to the pitching staff tonight by the Rise. Lopez coming in and slamming the door, but it was also Dels who started the game in such a dominant fashion. The pitching kept him in this game so that they could make some huge headwaves in the 5th inning with a late heroic once again with the bats.
Yeah, Dels started off the game, went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, only one of them earned on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts as Lopez picks up the victory. Elizabeth Hightower gets the loss for the Vibe. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll speak to our player of the game on the post-game show on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why bother with the wide angle that shows every player on the field? You just want good video of your son or daughter, and now with Varsity Media's ISO angle, you can get it. Our camera will focus just on your player in the game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. And it makes for a great teaching tool to help them improve during the season. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Welcome you back to Bill Edwards Stadium as the New York Rise with a 4-3 victory over the Florida Vibe. We're joined by our player of the game, Sammy Williams, the game-winning 2 RBI single in the 5th inning. Take us through that at-bat.
I mean, I was just hoping to, I knew she was throwing into righties a lot. I knew I had gotten jammed a lot earlier in the game, so I was just, trying to commit to not getting jammed or, being a little more on time than I was earlier. And, just looking for that inside pitch.
When you look at your team, it's been the late game heroics. Yesterday was the 6th inning. Today it was the 5th. What is it about your team that allows you to stick with it and be so dominant at the end?
Yeah, I think everyone on the team has, a really good mindset. Obviously we didn't play our best game today. I don't think anyone played their best game today, but just, believing in ourselves and knowing, those earlier moments in the game don't impact what's happening next. So it's, always thinking next play, always thinking that next pitch, and knowing that you have the power and the ability to get it done.
What do you credit that to? Because this is a team that hasn't been around as long. It's not like a regular college season where you're around all year long. But you guys seem to have this chemistry and resiliency about this group.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of brought it with themselves, like coming to the team. So obviously we haven't had a ton of time together, but I think also like we're very like we motivate each other a lot. Like nobody on the team's, mad when you mess up. It's part of the game. They know that you're going to have the next one and like someone else is going to have your back. So I think just that belief and that like positive energy and like everybody cheering each other on and knowing that next play is going to happen.
It's 2 games into your home stretch here with the New York Rise. Talk about what it's like feeding off this crowd's energy in professional softball here in New York.
Yeah, the crowd's been awesome. I mean, I think Double Play's done a great job too. I've heard them in between innings, like hyping up the crowd.
Some backflips even?
Yeah, some backflips. I think they were throwing hot dogs. So the crowd's been great. Signing autographs and just talking to fans after and the kids out here. Like it's been really great. It's been awesome.
Well, you're going to be in high demand now, especially with the autographs there, so we'll let you get to it. That's Sammy Williams, our player of the game. Congratulations on the victory. And that'll do it for the rest of our crew here as well. From Bill Edwards Stadium, for our executive producer, Ben Turchin, as well as Mike Verdi and Kevin Catalanato giving you the moving images. For my partner, Sydney Souffle, this is John Perez signing off. This has been a presentation of New York Rise Softball on your home for all New York sports, the Varsity Media Sports Network.